Good morning children, welcome to 8th standard online science class. Today we are going to start a new lesson in chemistry. So third unit in chemistry, elements, compounds and mixtures. Elements, compounds and mixtures. The first one is elements. So what are elements? An element is a substance that cannot be split into simpler substances by chemical means. It represents by a symbol. So you cannot split the element into simpler substances by any chemical means. But it is represented by symbol. For example, look here. Some of the elements and their symbols are given here. The first one is helium. Helium, the symbol of helium is He, capital H and small letter E. Similarly for aluminium, Al, argon, Ar, cobalt, Co, chromium, Cr, copper, in Latin it is called as cuprum. Okay, in Latin it is called as cuprum, and the symbol of cuprum is, that is copper, is Cu. See, since the symbol is derived from its Latin name. Okay children, the symbol is derived from its Latin name Cu. Neon, Ne, nickel, Ni, magnesium, Mg, manganese, Mn. Already for magnesium it is Mg, isn't it? So they have given the third letter here. Okay children, so here both magnesium and manganese begins by Ma, so it will lead to confusion. So in order to avoid that, the third letter, first letter and the third letter are used here. Okay children, then zinc, Zn, zirconium, Zr, sodium, in Latin it is called as natrium. Natrium, from the Latin name, the symbol is derived Na. Iron, Latin, in Latin it is called as ferrum, so Fe. Silver, in Latin it is called as argentum. Argentum, so the first name is Ag. Already we have seen. For organ we have Ar, isn't it? For organ we have Ar. In order to avoid the confusion, here this silver is named by its chemical name, by its Latin name as Ag. Okay children, then gold. What is the next one? Gold. In Latin it is called as aurum. Aurum, the symbol of aurum is Au. Okay, that is gold is Au. Okay children, you have to memorize all these things, so it will be useful for you in your future higher classes. Okay children. Okay, the next one is compounds. Compound is a substance that can be split into simpler substances by chemical means. You can split the compounds into simpler substances by using the chemical techniques. Okay, it is represented by formula. So similar to the elements, the compounds also represented by the formula. What's the main difference between element and compound? Element cannot be splitted into simpler substances by using the chemical techniques, whereas this can be, that is compound can be separated. One such method is electrolysis. Okay, electrolysis is used to split the compounds. You know that water is a compound, am I right? What is water made up of? Water is made up of hydrogen and oxygen, two parts of hydrogen and one part of oxygen. Already you might have studied in your lower classes, right children? Yes, so it is made up of hydrogen and oxygen, so it is a compound. Water is a compound. So when you electrolyze this water, water, the hydrogen and oxygen present in it will be separated out. So the oxygen will be collected in B tube with the electric wires, insulations removed. Okay, then in the tube A, the hydrogen gas is collected. In tube A, hydrogen gas is collected and the oxygen gas is collected in tube B. So this is a simple electrolysis technique. Electrolysis is a process in which when you pass the current through it, the current through a solution, when current is passed through a solution to the substances present in the electrolysis will be separated out. So here you have separated the hydrogen and oxygen, so it is a compound. Here are some of the compounds. Carbon dioxide, the formula of carbon dioxide is CO2. sulfur dioxide SO2, nitrogen dioxide NO2, ammonia NH3, hydrochloric acid HCl, sulfuric acid H2SO4, nitric acid HNO3, sodium hydroxide NaOH, sodium carbonate Na2CO3, sodium hydrogen carbonate NaHCO3, calcium carbonate, that is chalk piece we are using now, that is CaCO3, lead nitrate PbNO3 twice. Okay, you have to see NO3 two times. So they have given in bracket, no? So you have to read it as PbNO3 twice. Then ammonium chloride NH4Cl, ammonium sulfate NH4 twice SO4, glucose C6H12O6, sucrose, cane sugar C12H22O11. So these are all examples for compounds. Do you understand, children? Let us discuss some of the characteristic features of compounds. The compound is a pure substance. Compound is a pure substance. The constituents must be present in a fixed proportion. The constituent must be present in a fixed proportion. See, look here. Here are the some of the compounds. The first one is water. Elements are hydrogen and oxygen. It must be in the ratio 2 parts of hydrogen and 1 part of oxygen only will make a water. Okay. Similarly, carbon dioxide, CO2, 1 part of carbon and 2 parts of hydrogen. Oxygen. Nitrogen dioxide, 1 part of nitrogen, 2 parts of oxygen. Sulfur dioxide, 1 part of sulfur, 2 parts of oxygen. Hydrogen chloride, 1 part of hydrogen and 1 part of chlorine. Sulfuric acid, 2 parts of hydrogen and 4 parts of 1 part of sulfur and 4 parts of oxygen. 2 parts of hydrogen, 1 part of sulfur and 4 parts of oxygen will form the sulfuric acid. Nitric acid, 1 part of hydrogen, 1 part of nitrogen and 3 parts of oxygen. Calcium carbonate, 1 part of calcium, 1 part of carbon and 3 parts of oxygen will make a calcium carbonate. The proportion should not change that. The same, if the proportion is there, then only we can say it is a compound. It is a particular compound. Okay, 2 parts of hydrogen and 1 part of oxygen only will make water. If it is 1 part of hydrogen and 1 part of oxygen, it is not considered as water. Do you understood? So the compound retained must be present in a fixed proportion. Okay, now the next property of the compound is the constituent do not show their individual properties. After combining into a compound, it will not retain its original property. For example, oxygen is actually a gas, isn't it? After it has combined with the hydrogen to form the water, it will not behave as a gas in water. Do you understand, children? So it will not, the constituent of the compounds will not show their individual properties. And finally, the constituent cannot be separated by physical means. You cannot separate the constituent of the compounds by physical means. Physical means filtration, distillation, all this will not work out in the case of this compounds. You cannot separate hydrogen and oxygen by by filtering, just by making it to evaporate. You can't separate the hydrogen and oxygen, right? So we can't separate the compounds by physical means, but by chemical means we can separate it. Okay, children, do you understand? Now the next topic is mixture. So what is a mixture? It is actually mixture is an impure substance. Mixture is an impure substance and it may be present in any proportion. It is contraction to compounds. So it may be present in any proportion. The component shows their individual properties. The components can be separated by physical means. Look at the picture. Here are the examples of mixture. In the first case, the snacks we are eating, no? It is made up of different types of substances, isn't it? So each one will have its own taste. Am I right, children? Some will be sweet, some will be salty, some will be hot and spicy. So it will retain its original taste. So that is why it is called as mixture. And also it can be separated by just by hand picking. You can separate them. Am I right? Just by hand picking you can separate them. And also it is not that the same amount, the fixed amount of the substances. For example, peanuts are there. You have to give the peanuts must be present only by 5 grams, only by 10 grams. No, that's not possible. However, it is approximately mixed. Am I right? So that is a mixture. Do you understand, children, what is a mixture? Yes. Similarly, the soft drink you are drinking also, it contains water, carbon dioxide, carbon dioxide, everything. Carbon dioxide is a gas, so it will evaporate. It comes out easily. The carbon dioxide comes out easily, right? So it shows its own property. So that's the best example for mixture. Do you understand, children, what is a mixture? Yes. So this mixture can also be divided into two different types. They are homogeneous and heterogeneous mixtures. Homogeneous and a heterogeneous mixture. A mixture with the same composition and properties throughout is called homogeneous. So consider this case of soft drinks. Even though carbon dioxide is present there, it is also present in a form of liquid, isn't it? So it is a homogeneous mixture. It is a homogeneous mixture. Do you understand, children? The snacks also, it is also, everything are present in the solid state. The state of matter is there. All are present in the same state. We call it as homo. Homo means what? Same. Homo means what? Same. Okay, children. Homo means same. And what about heterogeneous? Heterogeneous is nothing but, for example, alloy. You take the case of alloy. You know, everything is alloy. In alloy, everything are in solid state. What are alloy? Alloy is made up of brass, steel, stainless steel, etc. All are in the state of solid. See, you have alloys, lamps at your kuttuvelakku and all you have at your home, no? Yes, those lamps are actually made alloys of all these metals: brass, steel, stainless steel, etc. So all, when you look at them, all exist in the same state, so it is called as homogeneous. What about heterogeneous? If the mixture, for example, oil and water, or sand and salt, or salt and pepper, chalk and sugar. For the example of oil and water, one will be less density and another one will be high density, so it is a heterogeneous mixture. And salt and pepper, pepper will be more solid and salt will be fine solid, so it's a heterogeneous. Chalk and sugar are available in the what form? Solid form, and chalk is in a powdery form, so it is a heterogeneous mixture. Do you understood what is the difference between heterogeneous and homogeneous mixture, children? Hope you have understood the today's class very well, children. So do your assignment, report in the group without fail, children. Thank you. Meet you in the next class.